Let's connect it up. Welcome. All right, everybody. November 11th, 2018, live stream for tonight's episode of The Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 6. Pretty cool stuff. Talk about a bunch of different things. Just going to wait for people to join us right now. And if you're catching it on the replay, obviously, spoiler warning, making sure that you don't want to be information that you don't want to know or you're worried about knowing. But, if you're watching it live, then here we go. But what's up, M. King, Booker, Ryan, Joseph, Gamma, Janet, D. Mitch, 0310, R. Paras 34. What's going on, my guys? Excited. Crystal, AJ, everyone joining me this Sunday for November 11th. We'll go for about an hour, and then we get going for tonight. We have the episode, Season 9, Episode 6. Airs tonight at 9 o'clock, so in 8 hours on Eastern Standard Time, and I'm excited for everything. Andre coming out the bat with a Q&A question. Brian, do you think Judith knows how her real dad is, or who her real dad is, I'm guessing? It's probably know who her real dad is. Yes, I would think so. I would assume there'd be pictures of them or something for it if they had the Polaroid camera. And she's going to know who Rick is. She was old enough to remember Rick from that when they were reading the Wizard of Oz and everything. So it's probably going to happen. So I'm excited for tonight's episode. We're going to talk about a variety of things. I got some big news for it there too. So Madison Cook, please say hi. Please say hi. Hi. So what do you want to talk about? Always welcome on the top chat, super chat, live chat. If you want to know anything specifically, always welcome to post something there. Just hopefully we don't get any haters and people spamming the chat and everything like that too. So just be interesting. We'll see what we get here. Clemson 1993. Question: do you think the season add Will the gray hair on pick as Carol? Yes, that is definitely Carol. You have Michonne, Carol, and Rick. I wish Rick, but Carol, Daryl, and Michonne in that picture for sure. So we'll see how it goes down. I know a lot of people aren't liking the Carol wig, but I don't know if it's going to look really good on camera or not. I can see why people don't like it, but the huge time jump, Carol's getting a different hairdo. Daryl looks the same. Michonne has a different look. We have an older Judith. We'll have some characters looking different, of course, with Henry, older Henry. And I'm interested to see how it plays out. The episode sounds really good on paper, on spoiler information. Potential spoilers. Got to say potential because we don't know. And I have to say about episode 905 because that was last week. We did the super chat, or we did the live stream, and then we did the episode came out that Sunday. So it was kind of funny when, the theories and the spoilers and the this and the that, and Daryl was going to kill Rick and Jed was going to shoot Rick and Rick was going to walk all the way back to Alexandria and turn into a zombie, and it didn't happen, and he got on a helicopter and flew to wherever we get. So interesting to see what happens with the movies. We have potentially 3 Walking Dead movies, and they basically shoot a movie in an episode. Half a movie, because a movie should be at least an hour and 30 minutes, and it's sorry, Big Sexy, what kind of mic do I use? I use the Blue Yeti microphone. I got the cover and then the foam over top of it, so it cuts down on the noise cancellation. But the movie should be pretty awesome. I would think that it's going to be these 3 movies with Rick, and then we'll have smaller movies with hopefully Abraham's Army, hopefully this, hopefully that. It would make sense to have an Abraham movie in Texas because they're filming in Texas with Fear the Walking Dead, and they want to have The Walking Dead year-round. That's why Fear the Walking Dead exists. You have Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead. We're going to have movies. We're going to have smaller things. We're going to have this. We're going to have that. So the idea from AMC and The Walking Dead franchise in the universe is saying that we want to have that going for a long time. And I think that makes sense, and I think people are going to watch it. Probably not as many that used to watch it back in the day, seasons 4, 5, and 6, when The Walking Dead was in its heyday. Everybody was watching it, And now, they got, I don't know if it was like 6 million watched it on Sunday for Rick's final episode. That's really poor for a final episode of the main character. But back in the day, you would get 11 million, maybe 12 million viewers, households, but people are watching on AMC premiere. People are watching it the next day. They're DVRing it. They're going to their friend's house. They're going to Nick and Norman's. They're going here. They're going there. So the ratings and the viewership is down, but ultimately I think The Walking Dead is safe, and hopefully it makes sense. I want the movies to connect and make sense. People are saying like, oh, DC doesn't make sense, or this doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is the Commonwealth. Well, that may happen. It may not. They may have a totally different, thing for the movies. But you know who's writing the movies? Yes, Scott Gimple is the writer or a big part of the movies. So if you like Gimple's writing, you'll be excited. If you don't, you might not watch it, right? But we'll see. We'll see how that works for everything there for the movies there. We got a bunch of questions coming up here. Slayed by Jin question, what do you think is going to happen with Hilltop since Maggie's last episode was last Sunday? I think Enid is probably going to be a big factor running it. I would think Enid, I would think Jesus, I would think Daryl will be helping out there potentially, but he's going to be on his own for a while too. We're going to find out that Daryl has been out living in the wilderness for a long time in tonight's episode. So I would think hopefully Carol will help out, but she'll be at the kingdom with King Ezekiel for, a while. I guess he's not King Ezekiel anymore. He's just some guy, Ezekiel. So I would think Enid will be a big part running it because Gregory's gone. Jesus doesn't want to run it. Who's left? That's a big question. Hopefully we'll find out. Yeah, so Janet, Brian, I heard Jed is going to have another run with Carol, and it won't end well for him. So we don't, to clarify that, Janet, if you saw the spoilers on this channel and probably a bunch of different places, you hear that Jed, Regina, and some saviors run into Carol and Henry, and they take Carol's wedding ring and a couple things that they have. But I don't know if Jed is the person that actually dies by Carol, because Carol goes back and actually I think sets the guy on fire, lets the guy on fire. And I don't think it's Jed personally. We don't know if it is or it isn't. The spoilers didn't specify. It's just the savior that takes Carol's ring. So is it Jed? Is it not? It probably won't be Jed, because you know how it works. You know my theory. If you're a male savior that starts with the letter J, Jed, Justin, and Jared, you know you're going to be a pain in the butt. Justin actually went out pretty quick. I was surprised at that. But Jared stayed along way too long, and Jed is probably going to stay a long time. So we'll see if that actually happens, but tonight. So we'll see what happens in the episode. But this sounds really good. Time jump. People are wondering, why is there a 6-year time jump? I think it's solely based on the fact that we're getting a 6-year time jump. So Judith will be the same age or right around the same age that Carl started. So it's a total reboot of the Carl of the Grimes child for the show. Carl's gone. Judith takes his place. Judith starts the same age that Carl started in season 1, episode 1, which to me is funny because some people get pissed in my comments, and I have to comment on this too. It's hilarious. Season 1, episode 1 is the pilot episode. Why can't people are like, why don't you just say the first episode? Well, why does it matter if it's the pilot episode for that person or not? It's season 1, episode 1 is the pilot episode. And when I say it in there too, it's just easier to say sometimes. So it's just hilarious that people get mad at some of these things. But, it's the way of the world now. People complain about everything. So Ramel Brown, how do you feel about Rosita and Father G? I'm okay with it, but to me, it's kind of forced. Because the show loves to have a comic connection. And we know, if you don't know, Rosita and Eugene are together in the comics. Rosita gets pregnant, but it's not actually by Eugene, it's by someone else. And then we find out later on in many, many issues who was the baby daddy. Didn't happen. She didn't have the baby. She was actually, killed off by a huge thing that'll probably happen, or something might happen in the season 9 finale. If you know the information, if you know the spoilers, if you know the potential spoilers in the latest filming, you know what we're talking about. But Rosita and Father G is, to me, a big remix from the show, because Eugene and Rosita are together. So they're like, we can't do that. Who's Rosita going to be with? Daryl? Nope. We can't have Daryl be with anybody. So nope. We're going to have this. Who's left? Father Gabriel? Sure. Let's put Father Gabriel and them together. Is kind of what it feels like. So we'll see what happens with that. Some big news around filming is that Alexandria has some winter wonderland around inside Alexandria. I have some pictures that some people were there. I got some pictures. Big shout out to the Not Dead family. So if anybody's in there, I think they had the reunion this weekend. And I couldn't make it. Unfortunately, I'm a member of that group, but I was in Tampa. But I'm just repping Sonoy. And shout out to the Not Dead family. They got some great pictures of Winter Wonderland, snow, snow on the trees and white leaves in there too. So we'll be seeing some snow, hopefully, in the season 9 finale, which they're filming right now. They'll probably film next week, and then probably it. I think next week will probably be it. Maybe the first couple of days before Thanksgiving, Monday or Tuesday, but that's usually when they wrap it up. So we'll have it be done before, Thanksgiving is what they traditionally have, and I think they're on schedule for that, for the season 9 finale. So tonight's episode, we're going to get, the confirmation of the 6-year time jump. And like I said, they did the time jump basically to have Judith be older, because they could have done 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days, 3 years, 3 weeks, 2 years, 4 years. They could have done whatever they wanted. They did 6 years for a reason, and we'll see what happens with the 6 years time jump for that. We're going to have an older Henry, an older Herschel, an older Gracie, an older Enid, an older this. Everybody looks different that I've seen so far, except Daryl. Daryl looks pretty much the same. So it's pretty interesting there too. So, hey, what's up, everybody? A bunch of people just joined. So thank you for joining me this Sunday, November 11th, which is flying by. Pretty soon it's going to be, it will be here before, Thanksgiving. And then, right around that time will be, the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead. But the holidays are coming upon us, and I'm excited, and, starting to get stuff together for it, but I'm excited. So Bryce Walker there, shout out, Bryce Walker. Anyone? Bryce Walker? I feel like I'm at, the grocery store, and they're like, price check? Anyone? Price check? Bryce Walker here. But what happened to Lucille? J Legacy, Q&A. Well, according to Michonne, they left it. They left Lucille, they left the bat in the field by the tree. So I don't think we're gonna have we're gonna see Lucille anytime soon. But again, 6 years, the bat wouldn't fall apart, but it'd just be sitting there. Maybe it was picked up by a whisper. Maybe a whisper has it. That would be crazy if you're walking down and you see this walker and it has a bat in its hand, and you're like, "What? Is that what I think it is? Why is that walker holding a baseball bat?" The whispers are coming. They're coming tonight. Small little peek of them. We're going to have the scene with Daryl. No, it's not Daryl, guys. It's Eugene and Rosita. I don't know why some people think it's Daryl instead of Eugene, in the mud, in the muck, when they fall, when they jump down. I would assume that it has to do with the radio, the tower. So the sneak peek little clip was of Father Gabriel and Rosita talking about the radio frequency and putting that out there. And I guess, Father Gabriel is the one messing with the radio instead of Eugene in the comics. So Eugene and Rosita go out and put an amplifier on a water tower. And a lot of people are thinking that Eugene may die because he's on the steps of the water tower. And I don't think Eugene's going to die here. That's a big comic connection with a different character. But I don't think Eugene's going to die. Eugene will be safe. Eugene and Rosita see some walkers coming. Eugene has to go down all the steps, and he says he's afraid of heights, evidently. He's scared of the height. He slides down the pole, goes down, or walks down the steps, goes down. Him and Rosita get away from the walkers, but he sees something different about the walkers. They might have a gun. They might have a knife. They might be talking. He might see something or hear something. They slide down in the ditch to hide, and they get, or they even get attacked by them, too. I don't know. They go in, and we find out that the Whisperers are among these walkers. And I believe that's the end of the episode. I believe that's the way the episode ends, setting up 907 and 908 for the Whispers to get more and more. And that should be the introduction that we kind of want, because we're not going to see an Alpha and a Beta and a Lydia right away. We'll probably see Lydia and Alpha first. Probably in episode 908, I would assume, we'll probably see the field with Aaron and Jesus and Daryl in the one clip. Because remember, that trailer that we saw was of the next 3 episodes, 906, 907, and 908. So we'll see what happens in order there too. We'll see if and when Daryl gets the dog. We'll see Aaron and Jesus and Daryl working together, and they're doing, so they're scouting the walkers. They're checking out the walkers, gaining intel on them to see what's going on. And there's something weird about them. They're evolving, but they're not, because they don't know what the Whisperers are. We know what they are. We know that the Whisperers are people among them. But if you're seeing walkers and you're seeing this weird thing, you're like, what are they doing? This is trying to crazy on there too. So But Bryce, thank you. Yeah, I guess Frank is your dad there, Bryce. So I just want to say happy Veterans Day to everyone that is either a veteran or has a veteran in their family or is connected with the military in some way, shape, or form. Thank you for your service and everything that you do there for sure. It's just nice to give thanks to that, and they do a good thing. I'm not a military person myself, but I have a lot of military friends and family members that are close to me, and they mean a lot to me, and their service and their time, and everyone has been safe pretty much all the way. And I just want to say, everyone that has been impacted by a veteran, or if you're a veteran yourself, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. I know our country and our world, just got to put this out, the disclaimer, is a little divided right now in a lot of shapes and forms, and coming together for any form, any reason is great. The Walking Dead related, some big thing. And Walking Dead is just a show, and I love the idea of having a community feel. That's a big thing, and hopefully you guys are on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter and all that stuff, and you can find us on Facebook. We got a page and a group, the TWD community. It's in the description of every video that we have. So if you're on Facebook and you want to join a group that's there, it's always fun. I'm excited for people to join and be a part of it. We have a lot of people that post a lot of great stuff, and it's a fun thing. If there's hate or there's problems in there, people get booted out. But a lot of times people are just there for a good reason, and everyone here in the community is pretty good, pretty solid. It takes one bad apple to spoil the bunch, that's for sure. So we'd be getting rid of those bad apples. We're getting rid of those bad saviors, So we see an apple and we're like, get this out of here. We ain't doing that. We're not messing around. Have a lot of fun, a nice escape from reality, and just in a nice, pleasant atmosphere where we can disagree, and there's a lot of things that people may disagree with, but just be open and cordial about it. Don't think that, it's just crazy too. So Andre, Brian, do you think Michonne will name her baby Carl? I don't know. We don't know what baby Grimes is going to be called, what his name is. We just know that it's a boy. We know that Michonne is a mommy, and I'm guessing it would be productive, or would be, pretty, I guess, assuming that Rick is the father, I would assume, because you can't say it's not possibility that Michonne wasn't with anybody else in 6 years. I mean, that's a long time, but I would assume that the implication is that it's Rick and Michonne's baby, and Michonne is the mom to her son, and we don't know. I don't know if we're going to go with RJ for Rick Jr., if we're going to go with Ricky, if we're going to go with Andre or Dre or Rick or Carl or something. I just wonder what it's actually going to be, because we don't know yet. And it's kind of cool, and I guess they got away with having Michonne having a baby, having a belly bump from her pregnancy, and Maggie as well, because we didn't see either of them have the baby. It was just time jump, and then boom, Herschel was born, and then boom, Michonne's baby born. So it's just kind of crazy. It's like we didn't have to see any pregnancies and complications, and which would be kind of crazy to see that it's having a baby in the zombie apocalypse. You can't just go into the hospital, and there'd be complications even in a healthy environment in a hospital setting, in a zombie apocalypse. But children are the future, and definitely Judith is the future of the show. And I just wish, and I'm sure a lot of you wish, that we had Carl and Judith together, taking over the show, kicking butt, taking names, and we're never going to have that because Carl was killed off. And Carl being killed off has pissed a lot of people off. And I'm on the side that I don't agree with it. I'm not pissed off by it, but I definitely don't agree with it. I don't think it was a smart move to kill Carl off. But Judith is the future. And Andre, you're right. Gracie, Judith, Herschel, Rick Jr. We'll go with Rick James Jr., RJ, Rick James. No, Rick Jr. Henry versus Negan, season 12. I don't think Negan is going to be an adversary. I think they want us to make amends with Negan. I think they want us to have Negan be a big thing, a big driving force, a good driving force for the future. I don't think we're going to have Negan be the problem anymore. I think Negan is going to be part of the solution. And I wonder if we're going to have the Negan Alpha connection, because we're going to have the Henry Lydia connection is what the early word is. And I can see that happening. I can see us having the Henry replace Carl storyline, and we'll see what happens with a lot of things. And if you read issue 185, I think it's 184, 185. I can't remember what exactly it is. I read the issue a couple days ago. It's the latest issue. It came out Wednesday, last Wednesday, and I read it, and it was pretty good. The issue was definitely building for the future, and we'll see. Mimo Ma, what are you asking over here? What are you saying? And then don't ever threaten me that you're going to unsubscribe. So before I unsubscribe, so do it then. Don't make me do anything for you to unsubscribe. You know, that's kind of messed up for you to be like, do this or I'm going to leave. Well, then you can leave. I ain't got zero tolerance for that. Don't try to strong arm me to do anything. You know, I'm here for a community feel, a talking thing, and you're going to make it turn into that. Can't stand people that are doing that stuff nowadays, especially there too. So I also want to comment on a thing I made about is, I talked about people that The Walking Dead kind of tricked us, and did I say they lied to us? No. What they kind of made us feel is that Rick's going to be done. We're never going to see him again. This is it. This is it. This is it. And they're like, well, it is. He's not gone on the series and the universe, but he's gone on the show. And Andrew Lincoln is done filming the show. He's going to be on the movies, which is kind of cool. And my point is that they kind of build it up to get people to watch and do all this. And they're like, well, I don't think that, Rick's not actually gone from the world of The Walking Dead. He's just gone from this part of it. And you're like, oh, well, I kind of got you. They got you a little bit. But, I liked the episode. I thought the episode was very good. I watched it again. And, initially when I do the reviews after I watch it, I'm like, feeling a certain way about it. And then I watch it again and calm down and know that it just kind of sucks that they kind of feel that way. So, hey, Kim, how we doing? How's Dustin and Matt doing? Tell them I said hello. So just saying that I just had a view on it. And I had a thing about it. And, I love The Walking Dead. I love the community. I love you guys and my PT peeps. So it's not like I'm ever going to do anything with it. I'm excited for The Walking Dead to continue. I'm going to be the biggest supporter of it. And I'm going to feel excited about it too. But what I was just saying is that they kind of did it in a Gimple way. Like we got Gimpled. We totally got Gimpled. Just like Glenn falling down and Nicholas's body falling on him. We don't know, is Glenn dead? Oh my God, is Glenn dead? And you know what Gimple's doing. It's there to deceive us and trick us. That's kind of what the whole thing was. And, it's just kind of, I don't know. But either way, I'm excited about the future of it. I'm excited to see how everything connects. And I guess initially I was like, man, that kind of sucks. Because when Daryl was picking off those zombies, those walkers that were trying to get to Rick, and they were getting to Rick, and they were getting closer. And the duration is not 125 minutes. It's an hour and 25 minutes. And 125 minutes is over 2 hours. 60 minutes in an hour plus 60 minutes is 120. That's 2 hours. The episode looks to be an hour and 20 minutes, not 120 minutes. There's a big difference. So if you're doing an hour and 20 minutes, that's 80 minutes long. So that means there's going to be a lot of commercials. There's going to be a lot of commercials. AMC's doing that. So the word is that it's an hour and 20 minutes. It should be good. There's a lot of big stuff. You have to think about it too. Hopefully they explain stuff with Maggie, but the word is they don't. And that's another thing that they kind of tricked us. So very cool, very cool. That I felt like they kind of built it up for Rick, right? Rick's gone. Last Rick episode, Rick's gone. This is it. And then it turns out that it's Maggie's last episode for the season 2. But the big thing is that Lauren Cohan supposedly will be back in season 10. Hopefully, there's no confirmation on that. So hopefully we'll have Maggie come back. But we'll see what happens with Herschel. And probably Georgie. I would assume Maggie's with Georgie. That makes the most sense, So I'm thinking that we'll have... and the other news that I want to talk about, too, it just popped into my head, is that Carol and Daryl, Melissa McBride, and Norman Reedus signed contracts for 3 years to continue their story for 3 years. So are we going to get 3 more seasons of The Walking Dead? We might get 2 more seasons and 2 movies out of them or something. So or a movie and 2 seasons or something, because they're going to open up their ability to go to the movies, the AMC original movies that they're probably going to film at Raleigh Studios and just be there too. So I would assume that The Walking Dead is going to have Daryl and Carol for a long time. Denai Guerrera, who plays Michonne, is going to be negotiating is the latest term. So she's negotiating her terms for the next 3 years, because I think they want to have locked them up for 3 years for the movies, and I would assume that they want to have Rick, Daryl, and Michonne, and definitely Judith. I mean, Judith has to be a big part of Rick. I mean, that would be kind of crazy if Rick isn't reunited with that too. It's kind of crazy. I just think it's interesting. So, Mimo Ma, I don't know who you are, but you're telling me what to do. I guess I didn't answer your stuff, and you're going to unsubscribe. Yeah, so I didn't steal anything from anybody. I don't steal anything from anybody. I don't do anything like that. So if you're going to come in here and you're going to say that, those allegations or your word, that is something that I do not want to be ever accused of or anything like that. That is some serious stuff. So you can be booted and das boot in your butt and don't come back, please. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. So again, that's something that's crazy with people hating on here too. So sorry about that. It's it takes some comments and makes videos but never credits him. Yeah, this same guy is ridiculous. Go talk to a person on Instagram with a big following that doesn't credit anybody. Yeah, or other channels that don't do that too. So don't tell me and come in here I don't credit anybody on there too. I don't even know who you are. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you posted. I don't even know what it is. First time I've ever seen your name. You probably aren't even anybody that posts anything actually. So, but that's what you got, and that's what we get in here too. So sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with that too. But sorry, I just got to stand up for myself, and I'm not a big fan of that too. So sorry, let's get back on track, back to the good stuff, back to the stuff we want to talk about on here too. So Janet Person, a person that always posts good questions. Thank you, Janet. Brian, do we have confirmation that Jesus is killed? I wish the television series had developed his character into the badass he was in the comics. So early stuff that we're not sure if it was exactly confirmed. The idea of that happening makes sense, that he could get killed. We're not sure, because the word is that Aaron he gets injured, and that happened. The idea that Jesus gets killed is a thing that came up early. We're not sure if it's episode 8 or episode 9. So if it was 908 or 909, we're not sure. But we see him fighting 2 probably Whispers, and I wonder if he actually gets wounded there too. So he could get injured, and maybe he lives. He could get, maybe he dies too. I don't know. Does Tom Paine run off the show too? If what are the Brits doing here? Andrew Lincoln wants to leave. Lauren Cohan wants to do other things. Tom Paine, do you want to leave too? I mean, like Lenny James, he left. I mean, we're losing everybody here too. We're losing so many people. Thanks on there as well. So I don't know, but that is a possibility for sure. So S Mystics. Do you think they show Whispers tonight, Brian? Thank you for the super chat. Always appreciated. I don't know if we're going to see them fully. We're going to see the scene with Eugene and Rosita in the ditch and them hiding and putting the mud on their face and everything. That's supposedly how the episode ends. So we might see the Whispers a little bit more, but I think the episode's going to be like Michonne, Daryl, Carol, the Kingdom, Magna, Negan, Judith at Alexandria, Michonne not trusting Magna, them doing all that, being around there, and then the Saviors coming around and stealing Carol's stuff. Henry's like, look, you can't believe you let it go. Henry and Carol, I guess, stick up, and they have a good, relationship with each other, because I'm sure Carol and Ezekiel are the surrogate parents for Henry, and they're raising Henry, and so Henry is going to say some words of wisdom to Carol, and Carol's going to come back because she's a pacifist, and it starts a little bit, and then she lets the Saviors kind of walk all over her, and then she gets revenge and hopefully gets her ring back, and then we'll see some different things with the characters, but ultimately I think the very end of it, because we'll see Father Gabriel and Rosita talking about the amplifier and the radio, and then I think Eugene and Rosita go to the water tower to put the amplifier out to boost the signal, and that's when you see the walkers come around, because there's an actual clip of that when Eugene is on the water tower. He comes down, they go away, or they get down, and then I'm sure the walkers and the whisperers are coming after them, and then that's probably how it ends, with Rosita and Eugene either being attacked by them, because I think there's a part in the one trailer where you see a person and Eugene stabs a walker in the head, and then you'll probably see some interaction with the whisperers and the walkers intermingled with them, and they're talking to it, and you know, Eugene's freaked out. He's like, they're not a normal herd, but we'll see that probably in episode 907 probably 907, when Eugene and Rosita get back to either the hilltop or Alexandria or somewhere, and they talk about the herd that they saw. So we're going to see the Whisperers a little bit tonight. It'll be their first intro, their baby introduction, if you will, for sure. So, sorry, Expert, you asked a great question here about Dwight. Expert Collector 1234, Brian, when do you think we'll see Dwight again? By the way, I love your channel. Thank you very much, appreciate it. I think we see Dwight in the second half of season 9, and I don't know how else to say his name, Dwight. That's how I talk. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I guess I have a different dialect. I'm from South Jersey, so my dialect is kind of like a Philly accent, South Jersey style, which is not the normal North Jersey, like, hey, oh, hey, like Sopranos kind of thing. But I say Dwight. I don't know how else to say Dwight. Dwight. But Dwight should be back. I hope he's back. There's been no sights or signs of seeing Dwight Austin Emilio, who plays the character, in the first half of season 9 or even in the second half. Hopefully when the Whisperers come around, he's connected with that, but he could be, you know, they film a lot of the Whisper stuff on set at Raleigh Studios in the woods, so he could be there, and we just don't know because it's hard to see, so we're just not sure. Dominic Miles Dyer, who's Magma? Who's Magma? Liquid hot magma? It's actually Magna. She is the leader of the group of the people that we saw Judith save. Yumiko, Luke, Connie, and Kelly, they are Magna's group. Magna is an okay character. She doesn't really do anything. She has a relationship with Yumiko. They are, together. They're in a relationship. So we'll see them somehow, I don't know, but Yumiko gets hurt. She hurts her ankle. We saw that in episode 905, so I think they can't really leave, or they can't really go just yet. She has to wait till she heals up to go, but Michonne doesn't trust her, and we'll see Magna have a problem. She hides a knife in her belt, and I think Michonne doesn't trust her already, and that's the straw that broke the camel's back. But the word is that they take Magna's group to the hilltop, and they're like, you know what? You're not going to stay here, but we're going to take you to the hilltop. Okay. Well, if you don't trust them, just kick them out. Don't, so we'll see what happens from it. So, Kev Womi, Magma is hot, literally. Literally, yes, Magma is definitely hot. But the actress who plays Magna is very attractive. I mean, they're all attractive on the show. I haven't really seen anyone that's like, wow, they're hideous. But I mean, that'd be terrible to say. But everyone's attractive on the show. Everyone's good looking in a zombie apocalypse, which I wouldn't think would be happening in a real zombie apocalypse. But it's a drama and acting, but we got to have that too. But I'm excited for tonight's episode, and this will be very telling if people are going to buy into the, ARG after Rick Grimes, or PRG post Rick Grimes. Are people going to buy into the story? Are people going to buy into the show and say, yeah, I'm still going? Because I'm going to go. I'm going to watch to the very end. I'm going to watch here. I'm going to watch the movies. I'm going to watch Fear the Walking Dead, which I'm watching Sons of Anarchy, right? And for those who don't know, Sons of Anarchy is on Netflix right now, and it goes off Netflix December 1st. So my wife and I, we started watching it about a month ago now, and we're on season 4, and we're going to have to wrap it up because Sons of Anarchy, we only have a couple weeks left before it goes, and there's 7 seasons. But one of the writers, or one of the co-executive producers on the show is Dave Erickson. And Dave Erickson, I believe, was the showrunner of Fear the Walking Dead for the first 3 seasons. And it's funny that people on Sons of Anarchy, there is several actors that were on The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead that were also on Sons of Anarchy. And you can kind of see what Dave Erickson was trying to do with the zombie apocalypse genre, which to me was a total mishiring because he's not a horror guy. If he was involved with Sons of Anarchy and he's trying to go to a zombie apocalypse show, that's not a good hire in my book because it's not the same genre, the same type, the same story, the same explanation, the same, just it doesn't fit. And you can kind of see the family drama that's going on here and going on there. And they could have done anything with that show. You could have done anything. You could have had a firefighter. You could have had a husband and wife. You could have had a boyfriend and girlfriend. You could have had done anything that you wanted to do. You could have started anywhere you wanted. And it just doesn't make sense for it there too. So it just doesn't make sense. Mike 35, my girlfriend wants your autograph books, and are you writing another? I sign autographs at conventions that I've been at. I've signed a couple of people's autographs for my book series. People have brought them to me and I've signed them. I'm writing book 9 as we speak. I started it a couple weeks ago. I just felt the urge to start writing it. It'll be out next year, probably February or March. I'm trying to get and under control and just write it the right way. I'm writing the pilot for the episode, for my first episode, before I can send it out to places and hopefully get it picked up for a TV show. And then I'm writing the 9th book now, but we have 8 books as we speak for sure. So the Fight for Us genre, Fight for Us is the name of the series of my zombie apocalypse genre for sure. So, but I see a lot of Sons of Anarchy stuff. Sorry, I got off tangent there a little bit with it, but yeah, no, I'm going to watch the rest of Sons of Anarchy for sure. I'm going to be watching that instead of shows, but it's pretty cool. I like it a lot, and it's pretty interesting for sure. So, The Crazy Guy, what's your book about, brother? It's about a zombie apocalypse genre. It's a zombie apocalypse drama series. It's basically 5 friends. The main character is Ryan, and he is mirrored after myself in, it's just minimal, connections, but it's definitely pretty cool it's a zombie apocalypse genre that is loosely based about myself and my friends and my family, my cats and my wife and everything in, Florida. And it connects just the zombie genre in a lot of ways. I have big aspirations for it, and I have big connecting points. There's also a movie that I'm going to kind of slyly connect. I'm going to have to do it in a good way that I don't want to give away just yet. But there's 8 books available now. They're on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I have Kindle versions and paperback versions. And I'm very excited. M. King's my guy. M. King loves my books. And, so does Kimberly and her sons and a bunch of people. They hopefully enjoy the books. And I'm excited for the future of that for sure. So how long does it take you to write one of your books? Well, initially it was taking me, 6-7 weeks, and the editing was a little rushed that I kind of messed up. So now I'm taking my time with it. I'm writing the story, and then I'm going back and editing it, and then my wife's going to read it, and then I'm going to edit it again, and then it comes out. So the editing of it was really what took the hit. So now it takes a lot longer for me to do it. I shouldn't say a lot longer. It can probably take, I don't know, if I take my time with it, it takes 4 months, probably 3 months. If I put the time in and we have, nothing's really crazy going on. I try to do a lot of the writing between the Walking Dead shows because if the Walking Dead's not on, it frees me up to do more writing of it. So I know that is what we're trying to do for that, but we'll probably have it done by February or March for book 9. So we have a bunch of things. But yeah, I'm a self-publishing author. I make the covers, I make the things, I edit it, I put that, and I post it through an Amazon company, and then we publish it through that. And that's part of the problem because when you do everything yourself, you don't have people that just have, the editing. Because when you make a TV show, like say The Walking Dead, right? You have the sound guy, you have the actors, you have the lighting guy, you have the visual guy, you have the editor, you have the CGI person, you have the director, you have the writers, you have the co-producers, you have the producers, you have all these people. You have so many things going on. It's so many things that are connected with it. To me, I am the creator, I'm the writer, I'm the editor, I'm the cover. I'm like everything. So I learned from that. I learned what it is. I've learned kind of what it is. So thank you, Christy. I wouldn't say I'm living the dream. The dream is to have the show, to have the book series be a television show. Be movies would be pretty cool too, but I think it would be a better television show, and that's pretty much what I would love to have for it. So Yeah. Have you had any of your relatives in the books? My wife is in the books. My dad is in the books. My friends are loosely based in the books, so I would say my friends, my family, and my in-laws are in the books too. And it's all loosely based in there too, and it's a fictional tale on it. But I'm excited for the future of it, and I have people that are in it that love to be in it and to be connected with it. And my PT peeps, there's a simple donation; they can be in it too. And a small donation gets a small part, and everything. We have a whole thing like that through our Patreon page for it. So it's a whole big thing being connected with us and just supporting the channel. So if it's just watching, if it's sharing, if it's actual donations, if it's on there too, it's all good, and it's all important for us to give it there too. So. Chad Linton, shout out please. Chad Linton for sure. Like I said, I feel like I am doing roll call. I'm Ferris Bueller. Chad Linton. Bryce Walker. But hopefully you guys are checking out the book series. It'd be a good holiday gift for yourself or for someone there too. So M King, don't quote me on the February. I know you want my book. I know you want book 9. You want it out next week. But I'm trying to do it right, and with The Walking Dead still airing, and then the holiday season coming up, I'm trying to write. I'm on chapter 4 now as we speak, so I write about 16, 17 chapters per book, and then I got to edit it. My wife's got to read it and then edit it, and then we got to edit and then edit some more. So February, hopefully we got probably I would say March. At the latest, but March for sure. So Mike FJ Doyle, you just check out Amazon.com. I hope February as well. I would love to have a February before the Walker Stalker cruise. I'd love to have that too. To have that out there would be a nice goal, which is I think February 21st. But Mike FJ Doyle, you can just check out Amazon.com. Type in the name of the books is this, Fight for Us. So it's Fight, the number 4, and then US for it too. So if this would type, there we go. And the books are in the description as well. So if you want to check it out for sure. So shows us your war face, Brian. Yeah. A lot of cool stuff's happening. Episode 6 comes out tonight for the United States and I guess North America. It'll be on 9 o'clock, so it's 7 hours and 18 minutes from now. So what we got here, 28 days later, 559. Not sure if you noticed, but in one of the sneak peeks, there are quite a few savers, including Laura among the Alexandrians. Do you think most of them merge with the communities? I haven't seen Laura. I've seen DJ. I don't know his name on the show, but there's Rosita. There's Eugene, and there's a big black guy he's bald, and he's a savior. And I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. His name's Jimmy. Really nice guy, really good thing, and he's a savior too. He's been in a couple things. He was when they came out of the woods. He's holding an axe with DJ and Regina in there too. So we're going to see Jed and Regina. But yeah, I've seen the intermingled of saviors in there too. I want to know what happened at the campsite, and I want to know what happens this season, what happened there too, because that's kind of a loose end. What happened there on there too? But the saviors are definitely intermingling themselves. I haven't seen Laura. We know Arat's gone. We know Justin's gone. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool to see that they're intermingled. Some of them are okay, and I know I get a bad rap as being a savior hater, but I don't like the mean ones. I don't like the terrible ones. I don't like the annoying ones. I didn't like Jared. I didn't like Justin. I didn't like Jed. I like Alden's okay, and hopefully Alden's still alive. I'm just going to say him Jimmy. His name's Jimmy. I don't know his name, but his real name is Jimmy in real life. DJ's okay. The one savior was killed. He had the machete, and Rick shot him in the campsite. He was dead. He was a walker. But Laura's okay. She was trying to cut things down. But Regina's got to go, and Jed, they totally got to go. But the saviors are going to be that annoying people, and I wonder who's actually running the saviors now, because Carol's like, I'm not going to put up with these people. I'm not going to babysit these people. And they're right. We shouldn't have to babysit the saviors because that's kind of annoying. They're bullies. They want to take everything. And they come back around like Jed and DJ. I guess DJ should have got shot too. But Jed was going to kill Rick, was going to kill Carol, was going to, slit her throat. But it's just kind of like, what the heck? That's not cool. That's not going to be, he should have just got killed. Rick should have shot him and it should have done this. And it's just, he should have been gone. But they kept him around, and that's what the show loves to do. You got to have, troublemakers for sure. So 28 days later, you see Laura riding one of the horses when they bring in Magnus Group, but you got to have a pretty good eye for it. Gotcha. So yeah, I'll look for it for sure. I definitely think Laura's still alive because I know that actress was around. But I know the word was that Regina and Arat get killed, but they didn't get killed at the same time. Clearly, because Arat got killed by Oceanside, which hopefully we'll see Oceanside. I don't know what's happened with them, but I think Regina's got to go, especially if she's attacking Carol. If you're going to attack Carol, you need to go. If you're going to attack that, for sure. So, sorry, I'm just reading some of the top chat on here too. You guys are posting some good stuff, and as always, thank you for joining me. I'm going to go for another 14, 15 minutes. I appreciate you guys taking the time, and it's always fun. I have a fun time doing the live streams, and I'll be doing one probably every Sunday for the rest of the year. I'm thinking that we'll have the fun time talking about The Walking Dead, and then when it goes on hiatus, we'll talk about some of The Walking Dead, what we expect for the second half and stuff. So we always have a lot going on, for sure. I talk about The Walking Dead year-round. Filming season is some of the best season. We'll probably get some information about Fear the Walking Dead when that's going to come around. But are you getting your TWD rewards points, guys? Hopefully you're saving them up for something big. I'm trying to save up my points for the big one where you can get the tour around a couple of different spots. I know people that did it last year, and they said it was amazing. And I'm like, man, I gotta keep doing that for sure. Jay Legacy Q&A: when do you think Carol will die? Next half or season 10? I don't think Carol dies at all. I think Carol is going to be around for a long time. Like I said before earlier in the chat and the stream, that Melissa McBride, who plays Carol, and Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl, they signed on for 3 more years. So a 3 more year contract. So if that's 12 seasons of The Walking Dead, or if it's 2 seasons of the show and a movie or something like that too. So I'm thinking that it's going to be pretty awesome, and they should be around for a long time for it. So Julia, sometimes the rewards thing, it's tough to put the code in during when the show is on, but I try to just put it in there too. And I try to, when the code pops up when I watch it, that I try to put it in right away, like I'm going to miss the points, but I'm trying to save up my points for the big tour. Hopefully you guys are saving your points, or you spent some good points. I would love to go see Talking Dead as well too, because I watch it every Sunday, and I'm like, what is it actually like? But it's in California. You got to fly there. You got to stay in hotels. You got to do that. I'd rather have something on the different East Coast here for it too. So what do we got there? Darwin Smith. But shout me out from Detroit. Matt, I got to work tonight. Need Lucille for strength. Darwin Smith. Yeah, so we'll just DVR it and check it out on there too. Hopefully you're up to date of the show on there. And I know a lot of people are watching it on DVR on the next day, or they just record it and they watch it when they can. So Kimberly G, I don't want to see Jerry die. I love him. I don't want Jerry to go either. And I posted a thing with some potential big spoilers for the season 9 finale, that we're probably going to be losing some people from the kingdom. We're probably going to be losing some people from Alexandria, Hilltop, Savior. I would assume people that are intermingled, we're going to be losing some people later at the end of the season. And I would assume that the Pikes will be the very end of the episode, setting up season 10. And season 10 hasn't been, announced yet or greenlit, but I like the idea of it happening for season 10 and beyond. But Andrew Lincoln is set to be directing an episode. So, but my question is that Andrew Lincoln is going to be in a movie, which they could probably film, if they expedite it, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. So I like the idea that season 10 will be, the heavy whispers, and it's definitely so. Brizo 2016. It's pretty funny. My voice fits what I look like. You kind of look like a Bueller guy. I look like Ferris Bueller. Go Bears. Yeah, you could be in your books. You could be in my books if you want. You just got to donate for it. It can be a small donation. Could be anything on there. I'll put you in there for sure. Be pretty cool. Just got to let me know what you want on there for sure. So, M. King, can you talk more about the snow? Any spoilers for tonight's episode? So, the snow will be seen potentially. I would assume it's going to be in the season 9 finale because it's been around Alexandria. You can see it underneath the walls and on the trees and in the field and stuff too. So, we're going to get a little winter. Finally, a little winter, and hopefully they're listening to us and the fans that are like, you know what, I want the idea of winter coming on the show because they're in Virginia, and so there would be snow on the show, right? So that would kind of make sense to have that, and we're looking to finally have that for sure too. So, Mike, would you have been a savior or a Whispers? I don't know. I wouldn't want to be either of those. I would rather be at Alexandria than any place or the Kingdom. I wouldn't want to be a whisperer, that's for sure. You got to wear some, walker skin on your mask. That's gross. So, but I would want to be probably. But if it's between the two, I guess I'd want to be a savior. So, but tonight's episode looks pretty good. Got to keep your eyes peeled for a lot of things here and there. They always love to throw in little Easter eggs and little connections. I like it on there for sure. Sorry, Ryan, I don't know what you're talking about. If I saw your question, I would answer it, but I'm scrolling back up and still don't see your question. Oh, there you are. Brian, have you seen the latest sneak peek for episode 6? It's about Eugene and Rosita in the water tower and their horses run away and how they run to the Whispers. Yes, I saw it and I talked about that for sure. I love how the walkers are coming and the horses are like, I'm out, and they run away and they clearly see it. These horses are like, I'm not messing around. I know what happened with Steve. I know what happened with Rick's Steve. I don't know if that's the horse's name, but the white horse, he's like, man, he almost died. He told us all about it. I'm out. These horses are out. So it's kind of pretty funny, but we'll see that. It's probably towards the end of the episode, I would assume, for it too. Shayna Chan, hey, big fan. I agree. I hope Jerry lives. We all need Jerry in our lives. Also, who do you think can win in a fist fight, Negan or the governor? Great question. Thank you, Shayna, Shayna, how you say it. I appreciate the super chat. Very cool. Jerry's awesome. I love Jerry. I hope Jerry sticks around for a long time. As for the fight, Negan versus the governor. Well, I initially probably would have thought the governor before Negan killed Simon. So I think the governor, with the one eye, be at a disadvantage for sure. I guess I go with Negan. If governor's got both eyes, then I know it's going to be a little harder to take the governor down. But I think Negan would take him out. If Negan could kill Simon, Simon's a pretty big guy, pretty big there too. And I know it's a show and the writing on there too. But so would the fight between Negan and the governor, right? But I would go with Negan. I think Negan fights dirty. I think Negan would throw some dirt in your face and then kick you in the nuts and then pull within what's it when he brings like DDT or something. He would pull out some wrestling moves and then body slam you and then leg drop and then take you out. And he would. I just think Negan would take him out too. So. Yeah, Mike, I talked about that before. That Rick kind of sucks at fighting. Rick kind of gets beat up more than he dishes out. When he fought Shane, that was kind of a draw. I think Shane won a little bit, Rick won a little bit, but then ultimately, Rick kind of won at the end. But Shane kind of had him pinned down with the motorcycle and could have took him out, but he didn't, and the rest is history. And that actually, I love that Shane thing. That was one of my favorite parts of the episode. Shane coming back and talking about Judith in Rick's, mind, because that's what they are. They were Rick's hallucinations. They were Rick's subconscious talking to him about Judith being Shane's baby, and it was pretty cool to see that. And I think John Bernthal did a good job. And when Shane was like, whoa, and he jumped at him, he's like, wake up, and he wakes up, and okay, a little kind of a jump scare, and we kind of need those a little bit too. We need for that to happen because we haven't really had any scary moments on the show anymore too. Before, it used to be like walkers come around the windows and break the windows and it was dark and it was kind of scary. It's kind of when Frank Darabont was definitely connected with it. There was a little more to that too. Merle versus Simon would have been cool. It would be kind of funny if they did a Walking Dead video game where you can fight like a Mortal Kombat and you can pick different characters. But I guess it would be worked that way too because they got swords and knives on Mortal Kombat, and you would have Michonne and the Governor and Merle on there too. So if they had like Mortal Kombat Walking Dead edition, that'd be kind of cool. Even though Negan's going to Tekken, which I don't really I think that's kind of weak. But I would love to see that. I would love to see a fighting game. You could be like Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Merle, Simon. You could be like Shane. You could be all these characters. That would be pretty awesome. I think that would be pretty sweet to have that for sure. So, but you guys are doing some great questions on here. So we got, I'm going to go for about another 5 minutes, and hopefully you guys are going to be watching the episode tonight. I think we can get a good episode. I think the thing from DirecTV or whatever is going to be an hour and 20 minutes. So we'll see if it's actually there. We'll see if how much Walking Dead episode we actually get. If it's 55 minutes or it's probably less than an hour. I think the only one that went over an hour was the first episode, the pilot episode, the first episode. I think the rest of them were like 42, 45, 53, 56. I mean, there's very few episodes that actually went over an hour of the Walking Dead, or actually the video of the Walking Dead without commercials. So, but there's a funny thing on Instagram that I posted, I shared. It's you have a picture of Michonne where she's in the chair and she's upset and she's like Rick's dead for 6 years, and you see Michonne by herself on a chair, pissed off, and then you see Shane and Lori in the field, in the second episode or whatever it was, and they're getting it on, and you're like, Rick's been dead for 5 weeks, and you see the difference of Lori versus Michonne. And you're like, yeah, that's about right. It's kind of like Michonne grieving, still misses Rick over 6 years raising their child. And you're like, that's kind of messed up that Lori was so quick to jump into. Maybe, I don't know. It's just kind of debated who was actually to blame, Lori, Shane and Lori. I mean, they're both to blame, but who's actually more to blame for it there too. So, but no, sorry. There's a picture of the guide of the episode, and it said hour 20 minutes, 6-year time jump from Rick's disappearance. It's in a bunch of my videos on there too. The crazy guy, or no, sorry, it was Christy Wells Reese that was on there too for it. So we'll see actually how long it is for it. I'll have to fire up the cable box and see what it is. But I'm excited for it today. So. Lori will always be one of the worst characters on the show. I'm going to do an updated, worst characters list for in between the break, probably in December or January, because I would assume The Walking Dead will be back in February, and it's going to end, before December. So we're going to have December and January, and hopefully early February comes back for that. I'm actually going to be on the cruise for one of the episodes, which kind of sucks. I won't be able to make videos for you guys for the episode. Hopefully they do something big on the cruise for that Sunday that we're going to be away for it in February. But tonight's episode looks pretty good. Yeah, Andrea was bad. I think Andrea, Lori, Jared is definitely my top 3 for sure. But I'm excited for tonight's episode and to see where it goes. I think the next 3 episodes should be very telling. I want the whispers to be pretty awesome, pretty terrible, pretty terrifying, pretty creepy, pretty gross, pretty interesting, just all these things that keep people interested in it too. And I know they're going to make a big deal like, it's the first episode after Rick. How are the ratings? How are the viewership? But I just think the idea that Rick's disappearance is going to draw people off. I mean, it's just going to be a big thing that people are going to be like, all right, I'll see and I'll wait to watch it later. People probably totally aren't going to give up on the episodes and the season, but I would assume it's going to be kind of low viewership and ratings, and it's all right. I don't really care about that. Like I said before, I'm just interested in great content. And I think the episode is going to be really good. I'm excited to see what's happening with Daryl and where he is, and Daryl's going to be a loner now. He's probably feeling bad that Rick's been gone. But it's just crazy to think that he's living out in the wilderness for 6 years when you have these communities he could stay. And hopefully he's been by and been back and checked it out for sure. So, great question, Janet. Brian, who do you dislike more, Lori or Madison? I don't know. That's tough. I mean, that's 1 and 1A. That's pretty tough. Lori and Madison were really terrible on there. They're terrible. They're 2 of the worst characters, I think, just because, in my opinion, Madison just had no emotion and just was not really the best leader, and we were supposed to follow this and her decisions. And I still linked like that is like the Lori Grimes of the show. Like if Lori was running a show, she's like the Madison. Lori was running Fear the Walking Dead. That's kind of what we got. And who wanted to watch that? Evidently, kind of nobody, because Fear the Walking Dead had minimal viewership compared to The Walking Dead. But Christy, great question. I'm not sure who's on Talking Dead tonight. I don't think anybody of that significance on there for sure. I don't know. But I'm excited for tonight. The idea of The Walking Dead following Rick Grimes' disappearance is going to be interesting to see what they do. 6 years is a long time. 6 years is extremely long time. So if it makes sense, we'll see. But tonight is episode 906, then Talking Dead, and I'm excited. There you go, guys. So I'm excited for it. Thank you guys for taking the time, for posting top chats, super chats. Always welcome, always appreciative on there too. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight. Thank you guys for posting some great content and great questions. As always, thank you for taking the time to be with me this Sunday and really every Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will be posting when I can be there for sure of, when I have different content for it. And I'll be pretty much around every Sunday to do these for it. And I'm excited. Why isn't the grass growing? They could at least put some CGI grass in the distance. Yeah, Dylan, I don't know. It doesn't matter to them that much. And we just have to kind of let the grass thing grow because, these are people's homes and people live in Georgia. So the grass definitely is an issue for a lot of people. But thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you guys are interested in the book series, it's available on Amazon.com. Just type in Fight, the number 4, and then us. So Fight for Us. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Thanks, guys.